What we're going to get into right now is one of our favorite segments of any event that we run, and that is our Michigan Student Voice TED Talk style keynote competition. So each presentation is about 3 minutes long, and they're very fast paced and full of student experience. So we actually have 7 presenters for you tonight. These students created presentations, submitted them into our office because they want to share their voice with other students across the state of Michigan. So we have 7 presenters tonight. We have 4. They're going to go right away. We're going to take a quick intermission to announce one of our awards from our awards 2021 award ceremony. And then we have our final 3 presenters. The presenters, the way this works with that 3-minute time limit, they had to create not only their scripts on some piece of passion that's important in their lives, but they also had to create a PowerPoint that moves after they hit play. So what I mean is every slide is automatically set on a timer. So their speeches, their presentations have to be on point to try to match the intentions and the visual cues from their slides. I also want to remind everybody in this room that this segment is also part of a competition. So when I announce our students, their schools, and the title of their presentation, we would love for you, our audience, to take some notes on what you really, really enjoyed from these presentations, because at the end of tomorrow's conference, we're going to open up our voting portal where you will be able to, as a school, select the top overall Michigan Student Voice presentation, and we'll make sure to honor that recipient at our 2021 award ceremony that takes place on Sunday night. So this is our first competition that we're running. The second competition takes place tomorrow with our student showcase sessions, and I'll explain that more tomorrow so we can make time and we can get excited right now for our presenters. So without further ado, we are going to jump right into our first presentation from Dakota High School with their presentation titled "Who We Are is More Than Who We Were." Please welcome Paige Coker to the stage.
Hi, Matt. Thank you. Let me get my slides up. All right. Can you see my screen? All right, cool. Okay.
You're good to present once you are ready, Paige.
Hi, leaders. My name is Paige Coker. I'm a senior at Dakota High School, and before I share my message, I'd like to take a moment to introduce myself. My favorite color is purple. I'm an introverted extrovert, and who I am is greater than who I was. Now, I want to take a moment to reflect on who I was. Each of the pictures you're about to see was taken at different points in my life, seemingly years apart and completely unrelated, yet there is one common denominator. Seeing each of these pictures, I had hit a point where I didn't see the point in waking up the next morning or continuing my life. The horrifying bullying of elementary school, the traumatizing social alienation of middle school, and the crippling anxiety at the beginning of high school became such heavy loads that the adversity they brought consumed me, and I felt as though I had no voice. Now let's talk about where you were. See, almost all of you watching are in high school, so we're in the same stages of life at the same time, each one of us overcoming our own trials and tribulations. Some of us had to grow up too fast, and others took a bit longer. Now, the point in this comparison is not to magnify nor denounce the gravity of our different adversities. It is to simply prove that while our adversities are different, the impacts are all the same, powerful and deserving of cognizance as we work to overcome them. Our adversities are like roller coasters, zooming through the lowest and toughest of lows and the easiest of highs. But it is in the toughest of lows that we find that energy to bring ourselves up and pull ourselves from those lows and into the highs. However, roller coasters have not one, but multiple cars dependent for movement. Similarly, humans need each other to push through these adversities. Through my experience, I began to see that mental health is a really common yet untalked about adversity. The conversation finally seemed to ramp up with the pandemic when mental health was labeled its own pandemic. But it already was. Society was just finally realizing it. So I decided that I would speak on my mental health journey that we students face in order to start a broader conversation and dismantle our societal expectations. Because if not me, who? If not you, who? If not us, who? Who is going to have the difficult conversation and making it happen to overcome that adversity? Now, the only reason I'm really able to talk about my mental health adversities that I've worked to overcome is because of my leadership experiences. Through Stugo and MASC, I've learned the beauty and vulnerability and importance of openness from my peers, which has shaped my outlook drastically because I have been touched and have touched the chain reaction of empowerment. However, this does not mean that there are days where I never struggle. I'm still working, like each and every one of you, to overcome my adversities, where days I feel like I have taken a million steps backwards. This is when I lean on those around me and allow the strength and vulnerability to carry me. I feel victorious in each and every day when myself and those around me can take even the smallest of steps in living not in the depressions and fears of our past, nor the anxieties of our future, but in the beautiful, euphoric, and ever present moment. Because who I am is greater than who I was. Who you are is greater than who you were. And who we are is greater than who we have ever been. Thank you.
All right, for all of our students, let's show Paige some love in the chat. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Again, we're taking notes from Dakota High School with the presentation. Ooh, Paige, you got to read some of this chat. Who we are is more than who we were. That was Paige Coker. Paige, thank you so much. Our second presentation, moving on to Brandon High School with his presentation titled Imperfection. Please welcome Herbie Martin.
Thank you, Matt. All right, let me get this set up. Alrighty. Picture this. You're sitting down with your friends or family, and for movie night, you decide to pop in an older movie. The sound of music or Gone with the Wind comes to mind. You're enjoying the movie, but occasionally there's a crackle in the audio or a light static over the screen. Nothing major. Now, if you had dwelled on the occasional blips and let it ruin that film, you wouldn't feel as satisfied with the overall movie. You'd let it get in the way of what is truly the important takeaway, the masterpiece that you're viewing. This is how I view imperfections. They're something we all have, and I feel like the best plan for anyone is to accept them. No matter how glaring or minor they are, we all have them, so why be so hard on ourselves? We have so much good to give and receive in this lifetime, so why should we inhibit it on superficial things like what our hair looks like? I wish I had heard and taken this advice to heart earlier. Here's me. Yes, while I have a few scars on and my face isn't completely acne-free, there was always a different imperfection I dwelled on, the color of my skin. It wasn't fair-toned like my friends and parts of my family, so from early on, I resented it and everything that came with it. The town I've grown up in and still live in is majority white. Most everyone has straight hair, pale skin, and so with my hair coils and brown skin, I never felt too at home. Even my parents had features different to me. Talk about identity crisis, am I right? But because of all these factors, though, it was difficult to find people who understood exactly what I was feeling and going through. Not going to lie, it was hard being a young mixed kid in a school where you just don't fit the face of the average student. Going to elementary, intermediate, and middle school was just a repetition and reminder that, hey, you're visibly different. It took me until high school to truly put the foot down to myself and say, enough is enough. I'm tired of feeling like I'm not meant to belong. Everybody is human and everyone deserves to be where they are. To be honest, I don't know exactly what inspired this great realization I came to. It could have been the artists I listened to like Frank Ocean, SZA, and Giveon, who are all incredibly talented Black singers and songwriters. Maybe it was the books that I read that inspire not only people of color, but everybody everywhere to be a better person inside and out. But maybe it was something else or a mixture of these two examples and more. Who knows? Either way, I looked to people that I could relate to and used it for my own well-being. And I encourage everyone to do the same. No matter how you're feeling about quite literally anything, there are people who have been there who can give you a sense of community and guidance. And guys, this isn't just something that will happen overnight. It didn't for me, and I'll be admittedly very jealous if it does for you. It's a process of healing whatever wound you may have, and I hope this can sort of be your sign to start the journey. After I found the sign and began my ongoing journey, I found I was happier with myself and I was achieving and doing more than I could have imagined. I found the confidence to join organizations like Student Council, to do presentations like this, and overall, get myself more involved in the things I wanted to be a part of and not listen to the little voice inside my head telling me not to. I'm now one of the top students at my school, and according to all the college emails I get, my future is very bright. So this mindset has had a great effect on me, but I'm no different from anyone else. If you accept the masterpiece of a movie that your life is, for all the flaws and blips in the picture that may come along, you will be enjoying your time here on Earth far more than you would believe. Imperfections are something we all have to deal with on a daily basis, but if you accept them for what they are and personally overcome the challenge or adversity of housing said imperfections, then I truly believe you can make anything happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Herbie. That's the third time I've been fortunate enough to hear this presentation, and I have loved it each and every time. For everyone taking notes for the voting from Dakota High School with his title, Imperfections, give some love in the chat to Herbie. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. For our third Michigan Student Voice presenter from Rochester High School with a presentation titled Not So Picture Perfect, please welcome Lucia Hernandez.
Hello, everybody. Okay. So let's. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Lucia Hernandez. I'm very excited to share my presentation with you, Not So Picture Perfect. So what is the picture perfect life? If you were to ask me this question a year ago, it would look something like this. The picture perfect life is hanging out with friends, spending time at the beach, not having to worry about school or work, being happy all the time, having the perfect body, and having a lot of friends. Growing up, especially in middle school, I would see pictures on social media of friends hanging out, looking like they were having the best time ever, and I would just be sitting home alone on a Friday night wondering what was wrong with me. Why wasn't that me with them? And I thought I had to change myself completely in order just to be part of the group. So for years, I did everything I could to get what I thought was the perfect life. I kept telling myself, if only I did this or looked like this, then I would be happy. I made it a goal to get this life because then I thought I would be truly satisfied with myself. So I did just that. I got the perfect life. I made a lot of new friends, changed my appearance, changed my personality. I began to hang out with the people who I wished to for so long. It didn't matter if I was having a good time or not, as long as I was hanging out with them. And yes, I did have fun at times, but I also realized how broken it was. Friends would talk bad behind their best friend's back when they weren't in the room. I was astonished. Was this what friendship was? Is this what I strived to get for so long? All I saw was one picture perfect moment, but I didn't see the brokenness behind it. I changed myself so much to the point that I couldn't even recognize myself. In the midst of trying to get this so-called perfect life, I lost who I was. Despite all the changes I made to myself that I thought would make me happy, I was never satisfied. I kept craving more and more until the point that there was barely anything left of me. I began to become so consumed with creating a perfect life, I didn't realize the damage I was doing to myself and others. So I slowly began letting go of my misconceptions of what I thought was a perfect life, and I began to embrace my own. I stopped watching and I began living. I realized that there was nothing wrong with how I lived my life before, and that I'd rather be a smart, kind, and joyful girl than a hollow, superficial person who was admired on social media. It was difficult at first, but now I know that I never had to change who I was just to fit in, and that being myself is enough. These are all misconceptions we face daily. We see a picture someone posts and thinks, wow, they're living the perfect life, or I wish I were more like them. We compare their picture perfect moment to our daily life and wonder, what are we doing wrong? We make up this idea in our head that this is how their life is all the time, and we begin to doubt ourselves. But what we don't see is the heartbreak, the arguments, the unhappiness that could be happening behind closed doors. No one posts the hard, challenging moments, just the ones that highlight their life. So if you were to ask me today what the picture perfect life is, my answer would be simple. There is no picture perfect life. There's just life with pain, happiness, heartbreak, joy, all the emotions intertwined. And without these things, we wouldn't get stronger and grow, because life is what you make it, not what you want it to be. Thank you guys for your time.
Beautiful words and beautiful message, Lucia. Thank you so much. We're 3 for 3 right now. This is fantastic. I hope you're loving it. In the chat, give Lucia some love. Again, take some notes, jot them down. It's already going to be incredibly difficult. We know that, right? We know the decision is going to be tough, but try to make some notes so we can try to tell them apart a little bit once we get to voting. But from Rochester High School with their presentation titled Not So Picture Perfect, that was Lucia. Our last presenter of our first set is here. She is ready to go. From Farmington High School with her presentation titled A Raw Composition of Broken and Beautiful. Please welcome Gabrielle Sethi.
Hi guys. Before I get started, I just wanted to let you all know that please know that you all are beautiful and that your truth deserves to be heard. And I know growing up in this world, people like to label us and put us in a box and tell us that we can only be one thing or do one thing, but we're all multifaceted. And if you really look at it, being a human being doesn't mean just being one thing, nor is it even possible. So be who you are, do multiple things, live in your truth, be multifaceted human beings, and allow yourself to recognize that your pain is your truth and that's your beauty.
That's
All
a
right.
heck of an intro for your presentation, Gabby.
Thank you. Let me share my screen.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, so I clicked share my screen and it says who can share, and then it says who can start sharing when your screen when someone else is sharing. So it's weird.
All right, Gabby, I've worked.
I got it.
Oh, you
Hold
got
on.
it? Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I think I figured it out. Sorry, technology's not my thing. Share. All right.
Perfect. You got it.
Sorry, guys. Okay. Okay. If you had the chance to pause in your life, would you rewind to change things? Would you fast forward and skip some of the challenges? People have posed this question to me, and younger me would have said yes, of course. Now ask the 18-year-old me, and I would say never. I believe my pain is my truth and beauty, which is what makes me who I am today. Nobody can take that away from me. The challenges I have overcome give me complexity and the unique perspectives I have on life now. I feel adversity should be looked at as advantages we are given in life. Growth from adversity has made me a better person. The experiences of pain in life make us grow. Taking those challenges and making them into positive perspectives for ourselves and others will make the world a better place. Loving and embracing the negativities in life allow us to evolve from hurt, which allows us the power to give the pain a big hug, which then showcases to the world that we can make horrible experiences beautiful. We naturally want to avoid the pain or become hardened, but embracing it brings about change and empowerment. Finding the balance between growth and hurt is not easy. People tell us we will heal with time, but the answer is just not that simple. It's finding a way within us to It's finding a way within us to love ourselves and the dark within us, even if it's scary. This is a message to ourselves, and when the healing begins, it's transposing our darkness into truth. I know you may not be able to tell over Zoom, but I have cerebral palsy, or CP for short. I'm not a neurotypical, and I have a disability. I'm also a quadruplet, and the only one who is disabled, or what I like to say, has different abilities. At a young age, I felt like I had to shrink myself in order to fit in to make other people comfortable being around me. The challenges I went through are the things that give me the perspectives I have on life now. I've had multiple surgeries and had to learn how to walk 4 times. Emotionally, it was more complex. Fitting in is a challenge, one that still haunts me today. In elementary school, my goal was to be nice and for everyone to like me. I had some fake friends, and they told me, Gabrielle, you know we're really not your friends, and we wanted to let you know this before we went off to middle school. The teacher told us that we had to be nice to the broken girl. People say how much they love high school, but I feel the opposite. The pain outweighed the few good things until I learned that it wasn't just about me. It was to use my life experiences to inspire others. My purpose had to be bigger than just me. When I meet people, they have a safe space. Not trusting and being guarded had taught me to be invisible. I went around observing others and wondered if they really knew me or wanted to know me at all. I lived in survival mode. My passions grew out of this. I realized that the only person you need to be comfortable with is yourself, and through that, I was able to find my own happiness, one that was not controlled by others. I learned that the only person coming home at the end of the day was me. I want to make a difference and be a platform for others, to make sure that they're seen, heard, and loved for who they are, and what they have to say. When we find a new perspective on our pain and past, our beauty starts to flourish and gives us new depths and truths that others will never be able to take away from us. Now that is powerful. I like to think of it as living within the poetry throughout life, finding the paradox between darkness and light we all have within ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabby. I loved it. Again, it's another great message from another great kid who I've gotten the chance to get to know and work with for years now. Absolutely
How do I
phenomenal.
stop sharing?
It's a great question, Gabby. I think you should be able to.
I got it.
You got it. Yeah,
Okay.
you got it. Thank you so
Sorry.
much. Again, chat's blowing up, which I love. Absolutely love to see it. Give Gabby some love in the chat. Again, for our note takers for the voting, with her presentation title, A Raw Composition of Broken and Beautiful from Farmington High School. Thank you. But that was Gabby. Thank you, Gabby. We are now moving on to a very, very quick intermission. So what I will do here is we're going to just take a pause so we can get to an award that is very, very special and deserves a lot of attention, which is our Unsung Hero Award. And to present that award, I am going to turn the microphone over to our Michigan Student Board of Delegates, who will present this year's 2021 Unsung Hero Award. But give me just a minute to be able to share this screen. All right, Bod, is Unsung Hero on the screen? Please welcome members from our 2021 Student Board of Delegates to present the Unsung Hero Award.
Good evening, student leaders. My name is Kennedy Mallory from DeWitt High School, and I represent Center 6 on the Board of Delegates.
Hi, my name is Sarah Ubatham Churla. I go to Troy High School, and I represent Center 12 on the Board of Delegates.
Hi, my name is Rainey Owens from Monroe High School, and I represent Center 8 on the Board of Delegates.
COVID-19 has redefined what it means to be a leader for all of us. It has highlighted the perseverance and passion of student leaders across the state. Unsung heroes do extraordinary work for their council, school, and friends while facing adversity and rarely receiving the recognition they deserve.
These leaders have an unparalleled work ethic and commitment to their community, even when they're not always in the spotlight. Their ability to overcome hardship and produce meaningful work, as well as inspire those around them, sets these student leaders apart in their schools and their communities.
The Unsung Hero Award acknowledges these leaders and their diligence to benefit others before themselves. It is our honor to appreciate and celebrate the continued commitment to leadership that these individuals display at their respective schools and communities.
So join us in congratulating the following recipients by dropping some love in the chat. From Bloomfield Hills High School, Cami Krugel.
From Brandon High School, Herbert Martin.
From Canton High School, Sophia Paulos.
From Dakota High School, Kate Ryan.
From Eisenhower High School, Taylor Byrne.
From Fraser High School, Joshua Crook.
From Grosse Ile High School, Annie Wozniak.
From Gold Lake High School, Avery Heisen.
From Heritage High School, Manmeet Singh.
From John Glenn High School, Katie Hagg.
From Kettering High School, Austin Maligan.
From North Farmington High School, Alyssa Peak.
From Ovid Elsie High School, Carly Witt.
From Rochester High School, Casey Andrews.
From Salem High School, Dev Thithwani.
From Stony Creek High School, Dave Palazzolo.
From Wayland Union High School, Tyler Amnes.
And last, from West Bloomfield High School, Alicia Sungvi. Once again, congratulations to the 2021 Unsung Hero Award recipients. We are all beyond grateful for the work you continuously put in to bettering your schools and your communities. Thank you.
Congratulations again to our 2021 Unsung Heroes. We're showing a lot of love in the chat. Keep that going, as their work is definitely appreciated here, especially during the year that we all went through when so many students stepped up. our unsung heroes did an incredible amount of work this year. We want to make sure that they are recognized. So thank you to each and every one of our unsung heroes. We still have 3 more Michigan Student Voice presentations, and we're going to get to those right now. We had 4 unsung heroes. We have 3 more. Without further delay, from Millington High School, with a presentation titled Path to Happiness, please welcome Mackenzie Alexander.
All right, hi. 1 second, I'm so sorry, I can't, okay. Can you guys see my screen?
We can, Mac, you're doing good.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone, my name is Mackenzie Alexander. You can call me Mac, and I'm a junior at Millington High School. The parts of life I tend to enjoy the most are what most people around me find unimportant. I try to find things around me every day that make me smile, especially when in doubt. Some of my favorite experiences in life are seeing squirrels climb trees, the smell of rain, or hearing someone talk about their deepest passions. Life is the best opportunity we have been given. Every day we live is another chance to create happiness, whether it be for ourselves or someone else. While it's impossible to be happy all the time, happiness can be a mindset. I want you to ask yourself, what is stopping you from becoming happy right now? Now that you have something in mind, think about overcoming the issue. Are you left with happiness or just the next obstacle that you must face? True joy isn't found from overcoming adversities, but how you live your life despite the difficulties. I've had a lot of challenges to face in my life, and it would be a lie to say that after everything I've gone through, I've remained a happy person. Sometimes, even now, it's hard to get out of bed. The future seems blurry, if imaginable at all. Sometimes it has seemed like everyone else is doing something amazing and I'm too far behind them to do something myself. But I think sometimes when I feel things like this, I need the reminder that life isn't ever at a standstill. Even when it feels like you're completely stuck, when it feels like there's no options, no way out, there is. Time will keep going, and eventually you will too. Anything you're going through now, someone else has overcome it. Anytime you feel alone, you aren't. Someone else is going through the exact same thing somewhere. There's a support system out there for you, even if it isn't in plain sight. When I was 10, my mom left my household, and due to other family issues, I was separated from my sisters and my dad as well. I moved in with my grandparents, and I've been here ever since. I'm turning 18 this year, and as quickly as the years seem to have gone by now, it didn't always feel like that. I felt hopeless and alone. My family that I had grown such a deep connection to over the last decade seemed to be ripped away from me in an instant. It all felt like it was my fault. It felt like I could have done something that made my mom want to say or said something that would make her want our family. As unbearable as that situation was, it gave me an entirely new perspective of life. Life is full of temporary things and temporary people. If you're creating your own happiness, no one can take that away from you. So I have a new proposition. Instead of asking yourself what's stopping you from being happy, ask yourself what you can do to make yourself happier. Try to step away from the mindset of fixing your sadness and embrace producing your happiness. Living life is a journey, not just a destination. I find it funny how sometimes without even realizing it, we create this perfect life in our heads and we decide once we get there, we will be happy. We get so caught up in the end goal that we forget to actually live. Pre-COVID, we all had expectations of what high school was going to be like. We had a plan, and I'm sure in our minds, we weren't relying on those plans and events to make those moments, those happy moments. However, when they were taken away from us, a lot of us felt like a part of our youth had been swept away, but it hasn't been taken, it's been rewritten, and that's okay. Bumps in the road aren't an end-all. Look at your school events and other activities you've enjoyed. We have found ways to do things that make us happy even when it seemed impossible. Everyone has a different story and everyone has their own conflicts that seem to take over the plot line sometimes. However, it's important to remember that there's always a subplot and not every story ends the way you imagine. A different ending isn't a bad ending. The important part is trying to enjoy every page up until the last one. So I challenge you to, especially if you've had a hard time finding the spark of life lately, to engage in something that makes you feel warm on the inside. Part of overcoming adversities is learning to accept them and understanding how to be happy despite them. You will always have tomorrow, even when today feels endless. You are strong, you are valid, and you can overcome any obstacle that seems to be standing in your way.
Enjoy every page until it's your last one. What a line. In the chat, some love for Mac. Again, take some notes, jot it down to help separate. Another fantastic presentation from Millington High School. That was Mackenzie Alexander. Our next Michigan Student Voice presentation coming to you from Rochester High School with a presentation titled Becoming Your Own Person on Social Media. Please welcome Samantha Tandy.
Hello. Mackenzie, I think your screen is still shared. Oh, perfect. Okay. Let me just share my screen really quick. All right. Hello, my name is Sam Tandy, and my presentation is on the standards of social media and the perfection that society claims we all must strive for. When scrolling through social media, we so commonly see a collection of very similar types of pictures, with similar outfits and poses. We can find ourselves surrounded by perfect people, all secretly longing to look like one another. This creates a feeling of insecurity and doubt in regards to our own worth. But why has posting become such a huge ordeal? Why do we post something not simply because we love ourselves and the moments we are having, but because we are seeking the likes, seeking the comments, wanting the confirmation that we are enough? When society whispers, "You must look this way in order to belong," our generation responds by doing just that. I am also guilty of this, of choosing to smile a certain way or only to post X amount of times a month because it's just the right thing to do, or the way that social media just works. We so often second guess our pictures or that post with less likes and end up deleting them, not allowing ourselves to have more than 30 posts, following strict rules that aren't truly there at all. The change happens when we start to believe that there is beauty in our story of growth. And so that is why I have recently devoted myself to authenticity, to never deleting my social media posts, no matter how awkward the stage may have been. When we start to realize that reflecting the beautiful lives we actually live is so much more beautiful than the ones we should live, we begin to be people of confidence, and we start to embody more love for ourselves and for others. I personally strive to reflect some of the small moments I experience in everyday life on my social media, and I have made it a goal of mine to be the same human that I am online as the one that I am when I come in contact with others. I'm definitely not perfect at it, and I have my own doubts a lot, but it's a long journey of small steps toward tuning out society's voice and focusing in on my own. One of my role models, Aunt Sass, inspires me to be authentic and real by her social media posts that are so lovely and remind me of the beauty found in imperfectness. She shares about her chaos and the hope to be found within it, and by sharing her real life with the world, they too get to experience real joy and real wisdom and connection. So post that selfie, have that photo shoot. There's no doubt you look great, but do it in a way that's unique to you and begin to see that moment as a part of your extraordinary story. Your pictures do not define your worth, but instead give people a little glimpse into your unique and wonderful soul. Something I've been really into lately are the Enneagram types, which are basically a model of the different personalities in our world. Taking the test and getting to know and understand my Enneagram type has helped me to realize that I am wired so differently than anyone else on the planet, and so is each person I meet every day. Imagine how remarkable our world could be if each and every one of us reflected our own styles and hobbies and talents on social media, and not the ones that society has laid out for us. If we can be a people who celebrate each and every different life, and yet still love our own with just as much passion, this generation could truly change the world. Thank you.
Well spoken, Sam. I love your pace. I love the cadence, and I love the presentation even more. So, again, with her presentation titled Becoming Your Own Person on Social Media, a love in the chat for Sam, and make some notes when it's time to vote. We still have one final presentation for you tonight. So our final Michigan Student Voice presentation from Farmington High School with this presentation titled Embracing Discomfort. Please join me in welcoming Yash Mehta.
Hi guys, I'm Yash Mehta and I'm a junior at North Farmington High School. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. I just finished a race, so forgive me if I look like a sweaty guy that threw on a suit, because I am. This might not be the most comfortable situation, but my presentation is embracing discomfort, and I'm here to tell you that comfort is a scam. How many companies advertise their products that supposedly make your life more comfortable? We've all seen them. Fuzzy socks, a blanket, even your thermometer, which makes sure that your temperature remains the exact same. How boring, am I right? Now, before these industries come after me, let me clarify that it's not these products so much as our lifestyle that is leading us down a terrible path. You see, We can overcome a lot of adversity by understanding that comfort is a scam for two reasons. Comfort inhibits us, and strangely, it is not comfortable. I know I lost half of you on that last one, so let me begin by telling you a story about myself early in the pandemic. When school became optional, I wanted to take a break. I didn't feel like doing anything difficult, and despite having tasks on the horizon, homework, studying, reading, all those became things of the past. I could finally get around to watching season 6 of How I Met Your Mother, and life should have been easy and fun, like the following graph shows, because I didn't need as much mental effort to do easy things. But I forgot an important variable: the mental strength required for life. I was left unprepared to meet these demands, and I wasn't saving energy like I thought. Simple activities like chores and daily routines became harder because I never felt like doing them. I was making life hard for myself by expecting it to be easy. That is the paradox of comfort, why comfort is never comfortable. When I realized this, I was faced with a choice: continue taking the easy way out or slowly push through my academics. I knew what I had to do. I began to embrace discomfort. I took freezing showers, began to meditate every day, turned off music during workouts, and began every day with the most unappealing, dissatisfying task, and took my shoes off when I ran, because intermittent periods of discomfort, also called voluntary hardship, helped me become more focused, driven, and at the same time, happier. This graph shows that I had to upgrade my mental strength in response to these tasks. This left me better prepared to cope with life, including school, athletics, family, etc., during this unprecedented time. You have to realize that easier doesn't mean better. When things get too easy, you forget how to cope with situations that are not favorable. Changing your relationship with discomfort, not letting it stop you, lets you fulfill your goals, appreciate life, and feel alive. One last message. You may remember Gary McGooey from Rise Camp. Yesterday, he told me, and this is a quote, that resistance comes from within, meaning at times we are our biggest enemy. We talk ourselves out of things before we even begin. Thank you all. Have a great day, and I hope you do something difficult.
Outstanding, Yash. Thank you, my man. I appreciate the words. I appreciate the graphs, the attention to detail. Phenomenal. I'm serious. I see a very, very difficult situation for our voting once we get to that point on Saturday afternoon, because you just heard from 7 outstanding presentations and, more importantly, 7 outstanding students. So one more time, that was Yash from Farmington High School with his presentation titled Embracing Discomfort. Yash, if you would not mind stopping your share. I feel very, very, very fortunate to have those presentations, for them to share their words, their passion, their vision with all of our attendees tonight. So again, thank you so much to our Michigan Student Voice presenters. Phenomenal job as always. What we do from here is we are going to get into our day 1 closing, followed by our day 2 reminders. So we can really set the stage for what we're going to expect tomorrow when we jump on day 2 of the state conference. So to share our day 1 closing, let's welcome our host school back to the stage to tell us a little bit more about where we go from here.
Welcome to the 9 o'clock news. Today has been a day full of breaking the news and not breaking news. We have reports of new friendships being formed in breakout rooms, as well as some very impressive Olympians who competed in our Olympic Games.
We also had the privilege of having the one and only Joey D on tonight to share his wisdom, and he sure did give us a lot to think about.
Yes, and let us not forget about our incredible student
who bravely broadcasted their messages tonight with their thought-provoking student voice presentations.
Oh yeah, they never fail to impress me. Today was filled with so much positive news. I'm not sure how our producers are going to pick up the headlines for tonight.
Why pick just one headline when there are so many worthy ones? Instead of having our producers pick just one, let's have our viewers each make their own.
What a great idea! Let's take a moment for the audience to submit their very own headline that represents their favorite break the news moment from today.
Wow, look at all those positive headlines. Now that's how you break the news.
Seeing headline after headline on the news can be so overwhelming when they are just filled with the breaking news articles.
I feel the same way. When I start to feel overwhelmed, I practice breathing exercises to ground myself and regain composure. Let's practice using one of my favorite breathing tutorials in order to peacefully wind ourselves down as we bring an end to tonight's broadcast.
That sounds amazing.
Remember to enter this exercise with an open mind. This may be a new experience for some of you, but if you really embrace it, then you will truly reap the benefits of it. So get comfortable, take a deep breath, and surrender yourself to the guiding voice.
Mindful breathing. Close your eyes and rest your hands on your knees. Bring your attention to the touch of your body on your seat. Feel the weight of your body on your chair or cushion. Make sure that your back is straight and that you're comfortable. Take a few deep breaths. While you're breathing deeply, relax your shoulders, your stomach muscles, the muscles in your face, your hands, and your legs. Let go of all the tightness in your body. Now bring your attention back to your breath. Notice what it feels like as it enters through your nose, goes down through your throat, filling your lungs, and back out through your nose. Notice your stomach and chest rise and fall each time you breathe in and each time you breathe out. And just allow your breathing to be natural and relaxed. Now bring your attention to the feeling of your breath in your nose. Feel your breath as it comes in and goes out. Just focus on this sensation, paying attention to each time you breathe in and each time you breathe out. As you inhale, maybe your breath feels cool. And as you exhale, maybe it feels a little warmer. When your mind wanders, or if you become distracted, just notice what's going on in your head, and then gently bring your attention back to your breath, going in and out. Focus on the feeling of your breath and allow thoughts and feelings to come and go in the background. Now gently bring your attention back to the touch of your body on your seat and open your eyes.
I feel refreshed and ready to take on what's next.
Tomorrow's schedule is filled with more opportunities to break the news, and we're all going to need our rest before then.
That's right. We have not one, but two amazing keynote speakers lined up for you tomorrow. Lots of unique student showcases and some fun,
interactive activities for everyone to take part of.
And don't forget, tomorrow is Weather Report Day. So come dressed up in your favorite fake weather report attire and get ready for another day of breaking the news. Until then, this is Bianca Candela.
And this is Ella Cadets.
Signing off. Remember to tune in at 9 a.m. sharp tomorrow. We look forward to seeing you then.